Sean Capri, and welcome to We the GamerCast. It publishes every single Monday here at youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, and patrons get it first at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. Thank you guys so much for being here, for telling your mom, for grabbing a McDonald's coffee while you listen. Thanks, guys, for being here. I appreciate you so much. My goodness gracious. There's a billion things happening. But if you're new, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. And if you want to be on the show, it's pretty easy. Kind of booked up right now, but it's mostly easy. Tweet at me at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery. Capri like the pants. My guest today is Lockleth. And we had actually scheduled this a couple of months ago because, and we'll get into it in the show, but this is a funny thing that has happened. Because we scheduled a couple months ago, we recorded this last night, and here we are. And as you know, Lockleth joined Carpool Gaming on the Nintendo Drive. And, you know, when you support us at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming, you support Lockleth as well. And Seth and Matt from the PlayStation Drive, we just expanded. I don't know if we did a really great job of, like, communicating that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Everything's kind of rushing. That's on me. That's on me. But today, we're focused on Lockleth. And, yeah, she was supposed to be on the show, and it's just kind of a coincidence that, you know, she's on the show and we put her on to Carpool Gaming. Does that make sense? I'm a little flustered. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like everything's kind of like, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. So, I was tweeting the other day. I'm like, this twitch in my eye is a real thing. So hopefully, maybe the coffee, maybe somebody mentioned caffeine. Maybe caffeine could be step to the side. But I feel like, do you have any people in your life who, maybe I'm the person in your life who does, but the other person in your life who's like, I drink a pot of coffee a day, you know, and it's just like completely fine. I feel like Lockleth is actually, we talked about this before too. Like, we'll have a coffee and then just like go to bed. Like, totally, I guess everybody's different. I guess that's the thing. You guys, lots to talk about. Great conversation coming up with Lockleth, and lots of content coming out here, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, and on podcast feeds, as Ryan would say, around the globe. But before I get into any of that, I want to thank the nearly 80 patrons at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming, especially our ultimate producers, Robby Bobby Miller, who I'll see you soon, Tony Baker at Quest for Pixels at youtube.com/Quest for Pixels, Dallas Ford from the Blame Game, Johnathan Brown, who has a new EP from PME called Gems. It's available on Spotify and Apple Music. Lee Navarro, the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life Team Phoenix. Oh my God, Extra Life is coming up in weeks. I'm going to see so many people. We're going to fundraise for the kids. More on that in a second. All the links for these ultimate producers are in the show notes. Click on them, follow, and support all these wonderful people. Our platinum producers, Marcus McCracken and RJ Kern, and our gold members, Anna, Cecily Carosa, Dallas Robbins, Drellish, Emily O'Kelly, Foolish Fuji, Holy... I'm so sorry. Jose Jimenez, Marcus O'Neill, Nagachaka, the Snack Network, and Tim Paulin, and welcome on in to Anna Hudak. Thank you so much for all of your support. That we can't do this without you guys. Patreon goes away, it all goes away. It's all done. That's just the way that it goes. And I'm not gonna. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention before we get to Lockleth, who you can follow on Twitter, Lockleth TWT, and let her know just the heartbreak on the TWT. We'll get into that in the conversation. This podcast feed, I was looking, cause number one, I was looking for any new iTunes reviews, and, nah, sorry guys, don't have anything to read for you, but if you want to, you can do that. That would be great. I'd read it on the show. But on the feed, it says 311 episodes. I missed like a major milestone. We have more than 300 episodes of We the GamerCast on this feed, cause I don't number them. I don't know. At one point, I guess I decided that, is that like, navel gazy? Is that like, oh, I better number the episodes so that I can celebrate the thing? But I end up celebrating on all the other shows. So I don't know what I was thinking, man. But 300 plus episodes, We the GamerCast. Many of you have been here since the beginning, which is amazing. So kudos to you know who you are. Thank you to you guys. But why don't we just go ahead and get into it? My friend Lockleth has recently joined Carpool Gaming. She's a co-host on the Nintendo Drive alongside Seth Sturgill and myself. Just an absolutely chill person. I love having her around even more these days. You gotta check out her YouTube at youtube.com/Lockleth. Follow her on Twitter, Lockleth TWT. My good friend and yours, Lockleth. Ryan is our steady Eddie, and I'm the high and low. I'm all over the place. And Ryan's like,
you're the ideas guy, and he's the one that reels you in.
Well, and that's why he'll be the first one to go like, maybe we should just like think about this for a second. He's very Ryan knows how to manage me. We'll say that.
Oh, by the way, look what I have.
Ooh. Oh, what the heck? What is it even made out of? Did you buy that or make that? I can't tell.
No. This was from McDonald's, the adult.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's what. Like, I'm like, it looks like a weird grimace. Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's here. I don't think it's in Canada yet.
It's Grimace. I can't remember what the bird female character is, and then Hamburglar.
I'm thinking like Sesame Street, the bird. I'm thinking like Big Bird.
It kind of looks like Big Bird, but she's got like.
Oh, she kind of flies. Oh yeah, like a bird. I mean.
She's the She's one of those old school McDonald's.
Yes.
She has like the pigtails and like brown hair, but she looks like a bird, like kind of like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And then they have Hamburglar.
Hamburger was classic.
And then it's a collab with, I don't know who the person is, but their character or like alter, whatever ego, whatever, has like 4 eyes. And so all of these have 4 eyes.
I don't know if I like that. That's a little, just give me like the thing from my childhood.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's bigger than the ones, I feel like, but it feels like it's just like, it was like 3D printed or something.
I was going to say like it doesn't bode, because I really didn't know what it was or where it came from. Like it looked like a grimace. And I literally just asked you, like, did you make that? And it's like, no, this is being sold at McDonald's.
Yeah, you can get either a Big Mac or like a 10-piece chicken nugget.
Yeah, chicken nuggets are good stuff.
Not for McDonald's.
What?
I am not a fan. It's like alien food.
What do you mean? I mean,
McDonald's.
You must have like
nuggets?
A preference for other chicken nuggets of some sort.
I'm like a Wendy's chicken nuggets person.
But Wendy's overall, Wendy's burger, everything is better at Wendy's, except for, of course, Diet Coke. Doesn't hold the candle. But like overall,
I know, I shouldn't.
McDonald's food isn't very good. Like,
we shouldn't be talking crap about McDonald's.
How come?
I don't know. Are you wanting to, like, hey, sponsor me?
Yeah, but I'm not, like, this is the thing, and maybe I don't know, this is a topic of some sort of conversation, I think. Like, I'm not going to hold back my thoughts on anything just for the sake of some sort of, like, sponsorship deal or whatever. Like, if they want to sponsor, like, they could have done it at any point. I was literally going to their store at least once a week on, public access radio. That's what podcasting is. It's like the new age version of public access TV and radio. That's what we've done. So yeah, no, I won't. I think when I first started getting into it, I remember having a conversation with my friend Brock McLaughlin about, and I remember he got a code from like Ubisoft. I can't remember what the game was, but he really like just went after it. Like he did not like this game. I'm like, what's that like exactly? Like they handed you this game for free and you're just like kind of going to town on this. I thought that was interesting. Although I'm much more comfortable to do that now.
I was about to say, you don't do that now?
No, I'm there now, but like this was years ago. This is like probably 4 or 5 years ago. I'm like, what's that like? Aren't you just lucky to get one? And this is the thing that I think everybody kind of goes through. Is like coming into grips with like, what does it mean to be a content creator?
Yeah, well, they kind of, they look to those that create content, especially gaming. Mm-hmm. Like they want to know if it's actually good or not. Right. They want to know your opinion, whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you should be honest about it.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, some people just kind of like bounce from game to game though. Like it's a weird thing because like, I don't know, back in the day, we used to, the internet would get mad at like IGN for, I don't know, having like biased reviews or something. And they went to such great lengths to not have any sort of like crossover between editorial and sales. And now it's like, that's gone. It's just literally the same person going like, I've been sponsored by so-and-so and you should buy this game because I think it's a quality video game. Like, I don't know. It's kind of messy to me.
I don't hate a lot of games.
You don't hate games?
Well, I definitely don't hate games, but like I haven't played a game and like made a video of it. or I guess followed through with a video if I didn't like it.
Right. Better just not to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only been maybe like 2 games that I've gotten that I just regretted buying.
Mm-hmm.
Partially, one of them was because the Switch version of it was just terrible.
Oh.
And the other one was it just wasn't a game for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just wasn't for me. So I don't think
Yeah.
I'll create a video on it because of
Yeah.
that reason. I don't know.
I don't know exactly which games they were, but there's definitely been a few where I've reached back to them and said, like, I don't know if you really want me to, like, do this. Like, I think that's maybe as much as I would say, but yeah, there's some that just don't really work out. And although, like, even having said that, having what I just said before, like, maybe that isn't the best. Maybe I should still, like, I feel like there's only been like 1 or 2 of those times, but that probably should still, like, yeah, this game not so good. Maybe don't.
There's probably some value in sharing, even if you don't like it.
Mhm.
For the one that's just not good on Switch, like why would I even share that? Because all I do is
I
play things
know.
on Switch. So like, why would I even be like, hey, I
You
guess
might
I don't know.
save somebody. That's what I'm thinking. Like for myself, like maybe I missed a chance to tell somebody don't do this one. Maybe don't.
Yeah, yeah. I did set them aside. Like if I ever have like 5 games that turn out to be not the best,
Lists.
I might just be like, here's 5 that just didn't
Yeah.
hit it with me, and here's why.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mario
I,
Strikers, Nintendo Switch Sports. What else?
I was about to say for you, Mario Strikers, but I liked Switch Sports. So.
You know what though? Strikers has a chance for redemption at Extra Life because we're actually gonna have a couch. We've lined up a giant couch. I think we're gonna have multiple couches here, so we're gonna have
Well,
some
it'll be
like
more than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, most of the time people are playing like on their own kind of like station or whatever, like computer monitor. But for us, we're sharing kind of a spot with Ryan, of course, will be there, and then Babbitt and Kyle from Trophy Room, and Trevor and Kevin from Save the Game. So yeah, we're all gonna get nice and cozy on a couch, and I think Strikers could make a comeback. That could be fun together. So we'll
Is that
see.
one that's decent? Like, is that a good like couch co-op thing?
I think it's good. Definitely couch co-op, and definitely for like an hour or two.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like getting back to how we used to play, like on the Wii with Super
Yeah.
Strikers. I think it was. Yeah. It was good stuff. It was good. How are
I
you?
think that's why I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. Now?
Better today.
Now?
Yeah, better today. Are you
Yeah,
getting into this already?
I guess so.
So, just to, give a brief little synopsis of my Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And I say me, I really didn't have much of the pain because my husband handled it all,
Yeah.
basically. Because I was like, he just took the reins. That's just how he is. And he doesn't like people walking over him and obviously me. So basically my Wi-Fi back here where my desk is, and like I work from here through the week. Like I work from home, so having good Wi-Fi signal is like crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been having like spotty internet in the recent weeks. Um, and then I finally did a speed test, and it's just loads lower back here versus where our router and all that other stuff is at the front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, we need like an extender or something. So I call our provider like Friday during the day, and I tell them what the problem is, and I said, can we just get an extender? Because when we got it set up, the guy said you don't need an extender. I was like, okay. And it worked fine until,
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
That's
until
got to be the most
recently.
frustrating part about all of this is that like Thursday it's great, Friday it sucks. Like whatever day of the week happens to be like that when
It was
technology just goes like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. It's just been not the best. And so I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, we need an extender. And they said they found a store. We have 2 stores in town that are closest to me, and they found one that was closest. They said, go there. They close at 6. You can get one in your hands tonight and get it set up. No problem. It should fix your issues. And I was like, okay, bet. Cool. I went down. Well, no, wait. Yeah, we went together, my husband and I both, when he got off work. We went and picked it up, brought it home, wouldn't connect. More like, okay.
I'm actually like, I'm feeling the stress, and like my eye twitch is already active. It's going to start, like, you might even be able to see it.
Oh my God. My facial expressions are a lot nicer today. I had hardcore, what I call RBF, or resting bitch face. Yeah. That's me most of the time, especially if I'm in a mood.
I doubt it. I mean, if you, but that's different. That might be this is a quick aside. I don't think that's the same thing. Like, if you're in a mood and like your face like looks like, I don't think that's the same as RBF.
I could be the happiest, be in a great mood, and sitting in Starbucks like this.
You just wish, like, just like, I don't know, some sort of like sign, like, just tell people I'm good. I'm actually having a great day. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to be like ear to ear beaming to demonstrate like I'm happy. It's just like, this is my face.
I just can't help it. It's my face. I've
had it for
had it for so many years now that it's just, I should just wear a sign like, I'm not in a mood.
I'm
it's
good.
Just my face, but also leave me alone.
Okay, so there's like a little bit of like a keep your distance. It's like a rattlesnake.
I do think it's partially a mask of keeping strangers at bay, strange men, all those weird, things, especially if I'm by myself. Like, definitely. I'm just like,
yeah, I have enough friends. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, can't be a part of the circle. Can't be part of the team.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm having a hard enough time getting back to the friends I have. So face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So luckily today, my face is happy or in a decent mood.
This is going to be a thing on the Nintendo Drive. Just like, let's do a quick face check-in. How's our faces? Our faces are good. All right.
I do have to check in with my face, especially with doing content too. I'm like, I need to smile. I look like I'm having an awful time.
Oh, yeah, right. No. Well, that's like, you and I think are similar in this way. Like, we're on Teams all the time, or like video meetings or whatever. Just like, so now you get to see yourself all day. Really, like, if you're in as many meetings as I am, like, oh my gosh, like, I've never had that before. Like, oh, that's what I look like. Still, I can see me. There I am.
All day long. It's mine are in the morning time because all of my other coworkers and staff that I work with are in the UK, so they're 6 hours ahead. Yeah. So all of my meetings are in the morning, but that is me staring at my face all morning long, and then in the evenings too. But we brought it home, didn't work, and every time you call. Yeah, no, I'm getting back to this one.
Yeah, thanks.
Every time you call the technicians, you get a different person every time. It's not always the same person. And there's no like work order or work ticket.
Of course.
You think there would be, because then you have to repeat the story. Like, I had already repeated the story and what our issues were to 3 technicians before I got one that said, the specialist that said we need an extender. We went and got it. We brought it home. There's no instructions. There are online, so you have to like Google it on their site. You find instructions, but they don't give you instructions when you pick it up. We found that out on our own. Anyways.
Was there like a QR code you're supposed to scan, like a restaurant? Like, they don't give you menus anymore? Just like, here, look at your phone.
No, there was no QR code.
Antisocial cretin.
You just had to go to the site. You just had to know to go to the site and look for the instructions there based on the model that you got. So he called again. I think he talked to like 3 or 4 people, maybe even more than that. In Friday evening, 2 hours of different people trying to figure it out. Basically, they chalked it up to it being a faulty device. And they say you need to go back. So after, the store is closed now. We're like at 8 p.m. now. It's closed. And so they said you need to go back to the store, get it replaced, get a new one. So next day, Saturday, it's like 11:30, and he stayed home because like he's pretty much almost over it by this point. And I was like, I'll go.
I guess we just don't have internet anymore. Cancel it all.
Well, we have internet, but the connection back here is awful. So I volunteered as tribute to go to the store and pick it up, and brought it back. They gave us the same model again. Explained it to the lady. She says, here you go. Took it home. Wouldn't connect. he spoke to three. So every time you call, you're talking to at least two people when you
Mm-hmm.
call, at least. So he called three different times. So he talked to like six different people Saturday to try and figure this out. And he finally spoke to someone that said, "That's the wrong model. You need the newer version."
Amazing.
And he hangs up with that person, calls back to get a second opinion because he's like, "We've already driven twice to your store. Like, are you going to reimburse us for the gas money? Like,
Oh,
this
it's
is
probably like 50
ridiculous."
bucks in gas.
Yeah. And of course they're not going to do that. But
Yeah.
anyways, because they offered to ship it to us, but that would have been
Days.
like 3, 4 days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants to do that? And so they said he called back, got a second opinion. That guy did some heavy troubleshooting with him, which was the most that anyone has done, which was actually helpful, even though still wasn't able to work. But it
Mm-hmm.
turns out final solution to the problem
Oh,
was
wow.
the the extender that they gave us. We found this out when we went a third time to the store to get a different extender. That the extender that they initially gave us was meant for the router that we have, the router modem. It's like one unit.
Yeah.
And this extender is meant for that here we have at home. However, the one that the technician told us to get this time was meant for a lower tier. He said get this one instead of that one. And the lady at the store was confused because she was like, this is really meant for the one you have, and yet he's wanting you to get this one. But I guess if he says it'll work, here you go, take it home, try it out. We took it home and it hooked up.
What?
I know. So that so we don't necessarily get I did find out from my husband because he was here when we first got the internet hooked up in the rental home that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
The technician that came on site and hooked it up initially said that there is a cabling issue like with our internet, and I don't know if that's something my leasing company can fix or do or whatever, if that's this is an old house,
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's fixable, or I don't think it's high on their priority list. I might as well say. So we're not really ever gonna get the speeds that we're supposed to get for or what we
Amazing.
pay for
Yeah.
because
Awesome.
of the cabling. So that's my theory as to why we have an extender that's meant for a lower model, because our modem router isn't really pulling the numbers that we're supposed to be getting. It's almost like we are having that lower modem
Oh
router
my
tier.
God. Well,
But that's my theory.
this is just this kind of experience like is something like, are you okay now? Because it would ruin me for a long time. Like it is so frustrating. You just want it
I'm
fixed.
I know. I'm okay, but
Yeah.
I do like part of me wants to bring like a technician on site to do like a health check and see if what it would take to get us the best signal. Like is it a lot of cost? If
Mm-hmm.
so, I doubt my leasing company's gonna pay for that. Like there's a lot of other things like the dishwasher, the stove, like a lot of the appliances in the house are very old.
Yeah.
Like I would not touch that dishwasher because the inside is rusted, if that tells you anything.
See, I don't even like dishwashers. That's just me though. Like I just will just wash the dishes by hand. Like I don't
Yeah.
like it. I
I
like even if unless I'm there when the thing shuts off and I can open it up
mhm.
so like it's not like hot and moist in there, just like sitting in enclosed space. That's like the most. People are like, oh, it sanitizes it. Yeah, when the water's running, and then you let it sit in there. And like the most, like it might. I feel like when it opens up, it's gonna be like where Yoda lives. Everything is so like humid and just like there's trees everywhere, just like an X-wing like submerged somewhere underneath. Like I think dishwashers are disgusting, like just flat out nasty.
It we've always had a dishwasher in the homes that we've been in.
Same.
The one we were in previously was a night, it was kept up to date. It was nice. And so I had no problem using it. And really, if you use a dishwasher, you're technically using less water. So, to each their own in
Yeah.
terms of that. But I would not use this one just due to the rust, obviously. And so I've always just hand washed our dishes.
Same.
But we also have a lot less dishes now because I did a huge like overhaul getting rid of stuff before we moved.
Jealous.
So
What's that like? Just purging everything? That sounds amazing.
it was easy because it was in that zone of wherever we move to is gonna be smaller. So we moved states.
Yeah.
We used to be in Arkansas, now we're in Texas. And we moved to be closer to my husband's daughters. So we're only like 45 minutes away from them now versus the 3 hours we were before.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. It's very convenient. But it was kind of, you get what you get leasing wise. Like it's just hard to find housing here. And we eventually want to buy a home. But for now, we're still renting, unfortunately. So I have to deal with this terrible wallpaper and
it's not
awful appliances
terrible.
and the
I'm
spotty
laughing at you
internet.
saying it's terrible. It's not terrible at all. But that's like anything you move into and you're just like, oh, you want to make it your own. You want to update or whatever. It's funny. And it's like buying a house common, like where you were, or where you are now. Like, is that the thing? Like it's something, I think it depends on where you are.
I think, yeah, it does depend. It also, I think with people my age, my husband's age, it's more common for people to already have a home that they bought themselves. Just due to the pandemic and everything that has happened, housing, like purchasing a home is like it's like as soon as it's put up for sale, it's like snatched up.
Yeah.
People are like right and left, and then costs have really escalated in terms of rent for one, and also for purchasing a home. Like if we're able to find a home, we would be spending less a month than we are in rent every month. So that's another reason to do that. Like, yes, you own that home then. So if something happens, it's out of your pocket.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah, so there is that, but I've only rented. Like my husband used to own a home with his ex-wife when they were still together, but I've only ever rented. So that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But now I'm just in that mindset, and he is too, that especially with the issues that we've had in this home, I have so many other stories.
Yeah.
And we've only been here since March.
Oh, snap. Yeah,
like
I guess
there was
that's
a rodent issue. Like, yeah.
Oh, I was a bit of a savior for Chelsea earlier today. She might have spilled some like bird seed on the deck in the backyard, and so it attracts mice. So she was wanting to move. She's got all this stuff for the kids out there, and she's trying to kind of get it organized. She's like, I heard some rustling. I just need you to like move this like little plastic shelf or whatever. So I move it in, of course. There he is, cute little guy, just like tucked in the corner, and she's freaking out. Like she cannot deal with mice like at all. So I just turn on, and she's got the shop vac out there to clean up all the bird seed and everything. So I turn it on to kind of like scare him away. So he kind of scurries, but just into the next thing that's on the deck. So it's like, and there's like a little whatever, some kid stuff. So I pick that up, trying to, uncover him. And I'm like, oh, I don't see him. And so I just throw this thing that I picked up. It turns out he was in that. So when it landed near Chelsea, he kind of like scurried out next to him.
Well, I would have screamed for real.
Yeah, she was not having a very good time. No.
Mice don't bother me, but these are like large rats.
Yeah, rats and like you get like raccoons and stuff. Trash pandas.
I've never had that issue.
I've never either. No. I don't know. It might be, I don't know if it's too cold here. I don't know how mice figure it out. Like, it's just weird.
Mice is definitely more common. And we did get a snake in the house once too.
A snake?
Well, we live in Texas. So
I know. It's just, that's too much.
Luckily, this one wasn't poisonous. My husband looked it up, but him and his daughter like caught it in a Tupperware container and let it go outside.
How did they catch it? Like they just kind of like throw it on top or something?
I did the whole top thing, put a paper underneath until it got to the door and was able to put the lid on and close it. It was like one of the bigger
snakes would get that reaction from me.
It was one of the bigger Tupperwares too, but he only did it because he found out it wasn't poisonous. If it was poisonous, he probably would have
Stay the heck away.
Done it a little differently.
Yeah, I just saw a video of like this woman who like on their doorbell camera or whatever, and there was a deer in their front yard just sleeping. So she thought she'd take her dogs out and go scare it away. And it's like that deer woke up and attacked every living thing. Yeah, it was you don't mess with wildlife, man. Holy cow!
No. I let them be for sure.
Yeah, like that deer will figure it out. They'll move on. You know, snakes though. That's I don't know.
Oh, I don't do snakes. I literally was in the kitchen when I saw it and I screamed.
No
and he
kidding.
was like, "What?" I was like, "There's a snake." It was getting closer to the dog's water bowl, so it was probably just heading towards the water.
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's a snake in here," and I had to go like do something else. Like I was about to head out of the house, but I wanted him to know that it was here. And he was like, "You go, just go do your thing, and we'll catch it." And I was just like, that stutter step, like, do I leave? Do I stay? I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think dead mice scare me more than live ones.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like they're in the trap.
Because you don't know how they died, or
well, like we have like these little the trap, and then they eat the poison, and then they keel over, and I don't like dealing with that.
We have we had to get, well, obviously somebody, pest control came. And they put up they're called bait traps. So they eat it. They go into the little house and they get it, but they take it outside. So the thought is, other friends see that, that they're getting ill and they know where they went, like where they came from. They know not to come to the house.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully the casualties are low now because of that reason. So there's only less than a handful of casualties, so because that just hurts me. I'm one of those like catch and release people. Like if it's a mouse, like a field mouse, I have one of these like green, it's meant for catching mice, and I found out that they like dog kibble, and so I put kibble in there, so once they walk in,
that's a good idea. I have that's what I have, but we put poison.
Oh, like they like dog food.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because they were getting into the dog food. That's how I found out. But it was like a little tiny like field mouse, like could fit in my hand.
Yeah.
And we caught one of those. I think I caught one twice in our last home we were in, and just released it outside.
Where do you take them?
So.
Like you can't just like put it outside like your house.
I took it behind the mall.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Let them break into the food court in the mall. Freak people out over there.
There's a lot of trees and like grassy area behind our mall
where snakes live.
If I can't see it, then if I don't witness it, then it's not my problem.
So he had a nice little like dog food meal before he was a snake
I like to
meal.
hope that he just scurried into the forest and maybe I don't know.
We're very lucky to live in like. Do you ever think about like we're in homes? Like we're just like somebody like constructed this thing. It's heated. Like when we say we're cold, it's like it's not outside. So that's kind of nice. Like being like wildlife would suck. That would be like we have to like go live in a cave somewhere or something. Like this is like it's pretty
Igloos
grateful.
in Canada.
Yeah, well some people just try to get the internet
People do that.
out to the igloos.
Their internet's probably better than mine.
The igloo internet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Igloos blow my mind. How does that even work?
I don't know.
I was like, no. And then you go from that to like the pyramids. How the heck did those happen?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think about these things? I think about these kind of things all the time.
Tools that we have today.
I don't think we could build it now.
Wait, maybe.
Like we got these big crates and everything, and I don't know, man. What are we even talking about?
We're all over the place.
What's happened?
There's been a lot of issues with my house, but
yeah, you got it sorted though. It's all good. You kept her cool.
Yeah.
Did you yell at people?
No, I'm not. I don't like. What do you call it? I don't like conflict.
Yeah.
And so I'm one of those like, this is very inconvenient.
You just want to be treated nicely though, and like somebody actually cares if you get a good outcome.
Mm-hmm. We'll say there were a few like technicians that were helpful. Like the first person I spoke with, she called back. I spoke with her on Friday and she gave me a call back on Saturday. At that time, we didn't have a resolution. So I was like, no, Laura, Still hasn't been
Laura
resolved, but
wasn't
thank
really
you for
Laura.
checking in. Yeah, her name was Laura.
Yeah. Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, she was nice. She was like, I feel for you.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Do you have your Switch nearby, by the way?
Do.
Do you always have it close by? Like, is it always kind of just ready to go?
Well, I'm making all the noise getting it up here. I keep my OLED back here because this is the
Mm-hmm.
one I tend to play on.
Yep.
But I've got the console like plugged directly into my computer, so I always have at least one back here, and then I have my light that's stashed away, but it's also back here.
What kind of light do you
Yeah,
have? Like, did you ever get a special edition or just one of the basic colors?
it's just the teal one, the basic one.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I was asking if you had it nearby because I was, for whatever reason, scrolling through. You might have seen I started playing Super Mario Maker 2 because I found this amazing like set of levels and worlds and everything put together. The dude calls it Mario Brothers 5, and it's really good. But when I went to go fire up Mario Maker, I'm like, oh, it's not on my like home screen, for example. It's not on my home row. And I'm like, I
Oh
have to
yeah,
go into
yeah.
my library, and it's like it's down below. I haven't played
It's
this
been a
thing.
minute since you've played.
Holy, and like no updates. Like I don't know if it did it automatically at some point, but like kind of that's amazing that there wasn't any updates. But I was wondering if you would take me down a walk down your home row. Like what's on the home, like what's on, the, without getting into your library, like last played
Yeah.
and what do you got there? I'll
Last
share
played
mine.
was. Go ahead.
Well, I've just got Mario Maker. Oh no, you go first. I'll share mine afterwards. I want to know about yours.
Well, the last thing I played, which was right before this call, if I'm honest, was the Harvestella demo.
Ooh.
And then after that, Tinykin,
Yes.
uh,
Oh man. Jealous.
Disney Dreamlight Valley,
Yes. So good.
of course, Animal Crossing, New
Mm-hmm,
Horizons, of
mm-hmm.
course.
In fourth place, so like that's saying
Yeah,
something.
I've played those top three since I've played Animal Crossing because I played AC like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Snap,
Oh, like new Pokemon Snap? Yeah,
the
I
new
guess that would
one,
be.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fall Guys,
nice.
Ooblets.
I haven't played Ooblets yet.
It's pretty good. Opus Echo of Star Song.
What the heck is that?
I don't even know if you can even see that. Probably not.
I look
Like
at like kind of looks like Ori to me. Gives
it's
me Ori vibes.
basically just a storyline, but there's a lot of dialogue that you have to read, but
Yeah.
you're basically trying to uncover your life. Like it starts off as an old man, and then it's just you literally are going through his life, and it takes place in space. You're in
I'm
a
in.
spaceship. You're going and gathering things. Like I'm not that far into it, but I bought it like I don't remember. It was a few months back. I pick it up every now and again.
Why did you
The
pick it up? Like what of a game that like I've never heard anybody mention anything about it. Like what
I
makes you
think
try
that
that?
because I like storyline stuff, and I like to pick up something a little different every now and again. And
Mm-hmm.
since that was one that took place in space, I like playing games that involve space. It's just
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So it involves space, but there is a little bit of you have to pick the right choices to
Mm-hmm.
continue. So I've already like killed everyone off at one point in the story, and then it says, let's try that again. And it takes you back, and then you pick the other option, and then you can continue the story.
Oh.
So, like, no, no, no. Like, it goes back to the old man. He says, no, 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 that's not how it happened. Then you're like, oh, well, I just picked the wrong option and killed everyone. Wonderful.
Oh dang.
Because you have to gather stuff, and you have a certain amount of fuel. So if you
Mm-hmm.
run out of fuel, everyone dies or some catastrophe happens. And yeah, there's a little bit of strategy there.
That's space. Would you ever go to
Yeah.
space if you could? Like if you like didn't cost you anything, like maybe take
It
a
didn't
trip around the
cost me
world?
anything,
Yeah.
and I could, be trained.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it scares me that much.
Same.
Like I don't think it doesn't really scare me. Like it more so interests me than scares me.
Same.
I remember having an old school like is it it's not is it I always get it confused. Astrology is like
I
the other
can't
thing,
tell you. I
right?
have no idea which one's which was the stars or which one's
Seth,
the.
Seth would know. But I
Because
don't
you
know.
guys are
I
both
used to
what? You guys have the same sign. Yeah,
Virgos.
you guys are both Virgos. Yeah. How could I forget?
But I
Yeah, I
had
don't
a
know.
book. It's not as
Astronomy, astrology.
astronomy.
That's the
Astronomy.
actual one. That's
Yeah.
the real.
Yeah. Astrology is the other thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
science.
I had an astronomy book. So it was like
Yeah.
constellations and those types of things. And I loved that book. Like I read it all the time. I was probably like 9 years old when I got it.
That's the best. I need to find like I'm a Leo. Are we supposed to be friends? Like, is there like a
don't
thing? Is
know.
that a thing? Like people just keep like I don't know. Do they clash?
I don't know. I don't know.
Seems like we're
My
fine.
husband and I are both Virgos, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, you just keep fighting yourself with Virgo. Okay, so wait, I still want to talk about space for a second. How,
Any time to talk about space.
how far? Yeah, because since you brought it up, like how far out is? So there's like the space station in like low Earth orbit, like kind of just like you could see it. Apparently, there's like great shots of it, kind of like floating in front of the moon every once in a while, and like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So that's like pretty close, but that's still space. You know, kind of far away. Would you go there? Hang out in the space
Probably.
station for a week? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you go to the moon?
Probably.
Like do a loop or do a lap around the moon or something and come back?
I would even just step on the moon. That would be
Step
nice.
on the moon. Actually, that's really what you got to do if you're going to go there.
If you're gonna go there, why would you not step on the moon?
Imagine if I don't even know the guy's name, and this is kind of the whole deal about it. Like there's the two like Buzz Aldrin and I don't know, Neil Armstrong. Is that his name? That
Yes.
sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Sounds like a I don't know, pop singer or something. And then third guy, like guy in the lander or whatever. He never got to jump around. He was just that would suck. I bet he did. I think there's a new moon conspiracy starting here. I bet he did. I bet he just walked out just a little bit.
Poor Steve. No recognition.
Jim, like, oh man, Jim Steve.
Whatever his name is. Oh, Jim, Bob.
Oh, that's all. I really like. That's kind of mean, actually. Like he kind of like a hero, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that. I wanted to be an astronaut at one point in my little, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah,
Astronaut
same.
was one of them.
Same.
So, like, if anyone's out in space or is an astronaut, they're already my hero. So I'm just like, how?
Mm-hmm.
Super smart. You got to be super smart. You got to go through pretty harsh training.
Yeah,
'cause,
you need like perfect vision, like perfect like body composition, like all these things. You can't be like you can't be a giant. You can't be like 10 feet tall. You won't fit in there. You got to like the close spaces and everything. That's the thing they left out when we were in kindergarten. Like you can be whatever you want. And by the way, astronauts are limited to like 0.5% of the population. And you kind of have to be the best of the best of the best.
You're just like, oh, you reach for the stars, literally.
Yeah, totally. Like you're going to take like a jumbo jet up to the moon or something. Like,
I know.
no.
Do you want to hear the last four on my
Sure.
list, by the way?
How much further than the moon would you go?
I think the moon is probably about as far as I would go.
Moon is far, man. It's like we can see
far.
it, but it's pretty far out there. Yeah.
It is far, and like there's so much out there it does get a little scary if you think about it. Like I saw the movie Nope this year, and
I gotta see it.
that like threw me.
Oh, really? Oh, I gotta find it. Where is this thing playing? There's too many things. Why? Like,
I'm sure you can stream it somewhere, probably like
I know,
HBO or Hulu or
there's
something.
too many. I just can't. Netflix have a monopoly. I'm good with a monopoly on the streaming services. Like whichever one it is, just pick one. Disney or I don't care. I don't want to search like Paramount or Peacock or whatever the heck.
If you got a smart TV, you can just search at the front end and it tells you where it's at.
Oh,
I don't
there
know
you
if
go.
you have one of those. That's what I do all the
even know if I
time
have one of
instead of
those.
looking it up.
I don't even know if it works in Canada. Okay.
The last four on my list is the 64 on NSO,
Nice.
Kirby's Dream Buffet.
Okay. That
then
cost
this
you
is the-
dollars.
And then this one, this is why I wanted to finish the list. I have the Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 Deluxe.
Nice. I didn't know that you made a game. That's amazing.
Yeah, he made two. So there's one and two. What was it? I think he did. 'Cause we've been following him my husband's been following him for a long time, and so I think he did like a post like, I've got a bunch more like found in storage or something, and first come first, get your hands on them now. They're not going to be re-released. And so he's like, hey, look, he's got. And I watch his videos too. I was like, oh yeah, I got a physical of that. Why not?
Like a cartridge?
Yeah, we have the physical copy.
That's the coolest.
Yeah. So him and I both have been playing that one off and on here and there. The levels are kind of hard, but have unlimited lives, so I guess that helps.
Is there like a side scroller, I'm almost thinking of like a Super Meat Boy or something, like where there's just super hard. They instantly, that's really good actually. But super hard, you die 1,000 times. But the trick is that like you instantly like respawn, like you die, but like you click a button and it's back at the level. It's not like loading and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's the same with this one. And we do the whole, once you die, you pass the controller to the other person, and that's
classic.
How him and I play.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah.
It's fun. There's definitely a strong language in it if you've never watched Angry Video Game Nerds, so buyers beware. But that was one of those special purchases that we got. And then the last thing is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Oh my gosh, I've actually just in the last maybe 48 hours or so starting to come to grips with like, I'm just not going to play like everything new. I'm just like, I was playing Super Mario Maker 2 for goodness sakes. Like I was good with it, Splatoon 3, I don't even know if I'm getting to the single player thing. Everybody's played it at this point.
So why not? You just, since everyone's done it already, it's like past that time for you to play.
I guess I have it. Like, do you ever think about like you just have like a library of games and you can just go into it? You can just walk in like it's its own space and like, today I'll just play this. Like when you're creating content, it doesn't really feel like that's even much of an option, even though that's not a real thing. It's just a stupid kind of like rule that we put on ourselves. Like we should play something. It's like, how about I play Mario Maker? Like, I'm just going to like break out, like, and especially now that it's October and everything is coming out. I'm like, how about I just do everything else? I feel like somebody's trying to break into my room here, but I'm not sure. Did you hear that?
Was it a beep?
It seemed like my door was starting to open, but I'm honestly not sure what was happening there. We're getting some Halloween vibes. I don't know. I probably should check in on them. My daughter's actually
little hands
just like,
God.
Oh no,
that would be terrifying.
My sister named her daughter Annabelle after the movies came out. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me with this. Like, that girl is gonna be Chucky or Annabelle. I feel like, yeah. No, I'm sure they're fine. I haven't had like
my coffee maker did make like a beep sound, so if there was a sound that you heard, it might have been that.
I thought it was like it sounded like a phone vibrating on a table behind me, but like my phone's here, so everything's fine. Lincoln's asleep. He's really the only one I can see.
So I'll say you have that camera stuff, right? Yeah.
Yep, he's good.
Aww.
At what point do you like remove like baby? Like he's 5.5. Like at what point do we get rid of this thing?
I don't know. I mean, they share a room, right?
Yeah. And it's funny because I can't really see Ellie. Like, she's on the bottom bunk. But I can't really see her. I can see her hands. So
maybe can you like move the camera where you can see both of them?
It's not on like a dolly or anything.
I don't know how it's set up.
I get the baby cams on like these drones and just like fire up like like, have you ever seen a drone in real life, by the way?
Yeah.
They're so loud. You can't just like secretly have one kind of hang. I guess that's the good thing. You're gonna
just have one of those little Roombas with a camera on it, and it just every now and again will go in there and just check on them and then leave.
Attach a camera to the cat. It's like a little collar or something. Just set it in there. So Max is so loud. Max would wake them up instantly. Like Max stays down here. We don't have like a kitty door or whatever, like the little holes in the door. Like, first of all, he's too big. I don't think it's gonna work out.
Not gonna fit.
Just to get stuck halfway through. But he's so loud. Is this like all cats? Do you have cats?
I do not. My husband's highly allergic, so we do not have cats. We just have the 2 dogs. So
yeah.
They're loud too. the boxer earlier, he was drinking all of the water.
Oh
And
yeah.
I had to like stop playing Harvestella, and I was just sitting here like, "Are you done?"
Yeah, I miss my dogs for their like fluffiness and companionship and all that kind of stuff, but I don't miss that stuff. Like they're a lot of work. Like that's the thing, is a cliche thing to say, but like they are, and you don't notice it until you first get them, and then when they're gone, it's like, well, this is easier. Like it actually takes the sting out of them being gone quite a bit.
Yeah. And my boxers always had health issues, so
I know.
it's a hefty
Boxers are
bill, like
tough,
every
hey?
month for him. Yeah.
Every month?
Yeah. Like he's on constant daily medicines.
Oh
So
man.
he's got arthritis in his back hips. He's got thyroid issue, which causes him to be really itchy and have skin issues. So
Oh no.
if he's not on his thyroid medicine, he starts like losing his fur and stuff. So he's got to take his meds like twice a day, every day. So
Oh my gosh.
if he ever like ran away, he would not survive without me.
Oh. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it took quite a lot of his life for us to figure out that it was a thyroid issue too.
Yeah.
'Cause it was constant like trips to the vet, constant like allergy tests, and just trying to figure out, maybe he needs some grain-free food, and still feed him that too, and that stuff's not cheap. So
Yeah.
then the other one, who's a mutt, she's just like, no issues, knock on wood. She's never had any health problems. So she's better behaved too. So she's
Yeah.
she's got a lot of good going for her.
The way you kind of like bounce around, like it definitely reminds me, like Charlie was we found her in a shopping cart at the grocery store nearby. So she was abandoned. She had kind of like that malnourished, like hard belly and everything, like fur falling out and everything. So she ended up being all right, but she was at least a border collie corgi cross. And near, like, after some time, Chelsea was like, surely there's some golden retriever in there as well. She's just very, very loopy, just kind of goofy, bit of a dog, didn't really care about anything, and probably should have been taken out by a lot of the things that she got into, but had this crazy like immune system, or gut, like this iron stomach, just unbelievable. She
Her
could do whatever
stomach
she
since the
wants.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, she was good. She just she eventually just got like this cyst in her abdomen that kind of kept coming back. And yeah, I mean, she was older though. She was good.
We did used to have 3 dogs. We had a German Shepherd too, which was
They're the best.
it was my husband's dog, like coming into us being together.
Yeah.
And he just got old. He
Yeah.
turned 9 years old last was it 2020? No, it was 2021. So come November time is kind of
Oh.
October, November. It's technically a year since he passed. So
Yeah.
definitely sad. But he was another one that kind of like her, like he was very chill. Thing like never really got to him, and very calm, cool, collected dog.
Yeah.
Always chill
They're the
all the
best.
time.
I
Very loyal.
Yes, I have a lot of admiration for people who can take care of German Shepherds. Actually, I don't know that I would necessarily be up for the task. I think there's a lot there. You can't just have one.
My husband did a great job of training him.
Yeah.
Trained him, I think initially with like German words too. So
Oh snap!
yeah,
That's when they're
Yeah,
really paying attention. Oh,
I
you
only
speak
know
my
s-
language. Thank you.
I only know sit and lay down. Those were the only 2 words I had to tell him. But other
Yeah.
than that, he super well behaved. Never had
Yeah.
any issues. He just got older, and now it makes me sad because my boxer's 9 years old, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no. At the same time, like you said earlier, with you don't realize how much work it is until
It's
they're
a
no longer
lot.
there.
Yeah. I'm
Now
not
that we
like.
just have 2.
Well, now we just have this stupid cat. Oh my gosh, this kitty litter all over the place, no matter what. Ah.
Yeah.
the
I just take them
worst.
outside and they do their business. I don't
Seriously,
have to worry
yeah,
about
that's all right.
litter.
I know. But even then, like, then you gotta, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, our dogs went like the next day. It was Oscar and then Charlie. It was like 25 hours, like done. It was, so I don't know. Maybe that's better though. It was kind of like, well, they can't even process one. We're still kind of in shock about the whole thing. And like, see a char.
I guess the second couldn't be without the other. So I guess there's a little bit of, I don't know.
I don't know if I don't know if
hard.
Yeah. I don't know if like, it was so short. I don't even know if Charlie would have realized what had happened to Oscar. Like, she actually didn't live much life without him at all. Like, Oscar could have just been at like Chelsea's mom's house or something. Or also she was so sick, like maybe she didn't even realize. So who knows?
Yeah. I think R2 kind of knew with Ringo was his name.
Oh, that's such a good name.
Like Ringo Starr.
Of course.
My husband's a big Beatles fan.
Is he? Are you?
I am now. Like I never really listened to the Beatles until I met him.
Yeah.
And we've always named our animals after like, what our favorite things are, what we love.
I love
so
that. That's what we
Bruce
do with our
Wayne,
kids.
The boxer. I guess, yeah. Yeah, but with dogs, you could be a little bit wild with it. So Ringo, Bruce Wayne, and then Luna Lovegood.
That's so good. That's like a reason to have pets. Like, how many other things I want to name around here? That's so good. Yeah, I think we're good though with just Max. I don't even know where he is. He's probably trying to break into the door here earlier. It's like
he's
a
not in there with
velociraptor.
you?
No, he's not. No, he can't be in podcast space. He's loud no matter what, unless he's like asleep on the chair, which he's also declared one of the chairs out there his. Like, one of them is mine, and that's obvious, and then he sleeps on the other, and it's just like cat fur all over the place. Like, we never had this much fur around. Yeah. No.
There's dog hair all over the place.
Yeah.
In our house. Need to sweep. That actually reminds me I need to vacuum or something. I don't know. I don't do it enough.
Same here. So you're on the Carpool Gaming now.
Yes, I am.
You it's funny because this was scheduled. How long ago did you reach out to? This was like in the middle of summer, I think. You're like, my 1 year anniversary of being on We the GamerCast is coming up.
I don't remember. It had to have been one of the times, probably one of the last few times that you were. I know, right?
I can't scroll back up.
There's no way I can scroll back that far.
I mean, actually, I can't because it'll ruin the video and everything. So won't be able to. I
don't remember what it was. I just remember. I think you did your, at the end of the show type of thing where you're just like, and I'm, if you want to be on the show,
oh yeah,
blah blah blah, your thing, and I was like, oh yeah, let me look, see. Mm-hmm. I think I was just like, hey, and what do you do in October?
Like, I think I'm clear. Like, I've had stretches where I would schedule out like many weeks actually, and that's great because then I don't have to worry week to week. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's kind of like I kind of like the spontaneity of it. If I don't know who's going to be on like the next week, I say that having the next couple of weeks taken care of. But when you're in it, you're like, I've got like 4 days left and there is nobody, I haven't locked anybody down. And then you're putting people on, in an uncomfortable position, I guess. But yeah, no, I kind of like not knowing, but I don't know. But this was nice because like you obviously saw it. Like, I could have sworn you were on years and years ago. Like, the fact that it was 1 year ago, like, makes zero sense to me at all.
It was literally a year ago with you, and the year before that with Bobby.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why we did the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think I just told you, like, it was kind of when we did it, like when we recorded last year, I told you that we were only like 10 days out from when I did my first recording with Bobby, because he did several episodes, but he recorded it all in one day. So it was him, me, and Holly on a call. So I was like,
he really did
make
that.
It an October thing.
He would go it probably was a Sunday. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it was a Sunday.
Yeah, we used to get up. Him and I would do it first. It was 5 a.m. for me, 7 a.m. for him, and we would do that for whatever, hour and a half, and then he'd jump on to Holly or whoever else. Like, he did like 3 or 4 shows on a Sunday, and then do the rest of the work, like video editing and just. I don't know. And he never complained about I can't help but complain all the time. And he was just like, I'll just do it. just a mess most of the time.
Yeah, I don't try not to get overwhelmed with all that. But yeah, he I only heard like secondhand the amount of like his work ethic. So, and now that I'm doing content myself and stuff and have been doing it for a while, like there are days where I'm like, how?
Honestly, yeah. And it's not like he did it for like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
It was like years
Did it
and
for,
years.
yeah, many years. Yeah.
Yeah, I do know that like there were times where, you know, he'd get tired or frustrated or whatever, but you'd never know it. Right. Like if you're just watching the content and whatever, like you'd never be able to know. He just kept going. Life kind of had its way of making him take breaks so every once in a while, but which is too bad. But yeah, you were on, so I guess that's the whole thing is like you were on Bobby's thing 2 years ago. Was it Breaking Bad that you were on? Or Breaking Bells. Breaking Bells,
yes.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what was it called? I have a shirt
Breaking Bad is making a
literally says
comeback
it
on
there.
YouTube for me these days. It's like these weird scenes just out of nowhere, Breaking Bad. But yes, Breaking Bells.
Yes.
2 years ago. Yeah.
There was like, I think it was separated into like 3 or 4 videos or something. And so, it might have been 3 because he had a topic for one, Holly had a topic for another. And then I came in with my own topic for like the third.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like spread across like 3 different videos. And since I didn't have a channel, technically that third video would have gone on my channel if I had one at the time. So he just had the 2 uploaded to his, and then Holly had one of hers.
So because you didn't have a channel at that time. Were you just like writing into the show or something like that? And he's like, come on, like how did that even happen?
I still have the entire like Discord like feeds with Bobby.
Yeah.
And I looked back at it like the other day too. Every now and again I'll pop into there and just read it. But I was on a podcast called Tiny Island Diary like earlier that summer. And it's interesting how I've just thrown myself upon my own my own idea, just throw myself into this entire, you know, gaming and being with creators and stuff, where I was just listening to this podcast, and she never really put out there, like, because she would have random people on the show, like people who play Animal Crossing. It was very Animal Crossing heavy. And a lot of them were like political figures and like very, you know, people that you wouldn't think plays the game. And so I was just an active listener. And then I think I was just, you know, a commenter, just like, you know, just kept commenting, kept putting my name out there.
Sounds
so
familiar.
One day I was like, yeah, I know, right? This is the theme with me, apparently. I just keep pushing myself onto people until they're like, oh, you know, this Lockleth, she seems like she knows something. And so I just asked her, you know, if you ever need a guest that isn't really, you know, doesn't do content, but, you know, loves the game, you know, I volunteer. And she was like, sure, had me on the show. And then I listened.
You're like batting 1,000 on this, by the way. Like, is this like, so it's this show, Bobby, my show.
I've never got a no. Mm-mm.
That is amazing. Cause I don't even like, I can't just by just the nature of how many requests do come in. I can't take everybody. So there are some times where I'm like, either, you know, and I'll get back like 4 months later. I'm like, I am so sorry. Would you still be interested in coming to the show? And they're like, they like moved on to another like Twitter handle or something like that. Like that's very impressive that even when people aren't necessarily asking for guests on, you're like, yeah, still make it on.
Yeah, and her and I still talk. Like we actually
awesome.
like text each other, and she lives closer to me now because she lives in Texas as well. So
yeah,
I've never actually seen her in person, but we still chat every now and again. We catch up with each other's lives and stuff. And so the same thing with Bobby. And I basically watched his streams very frequently. it's just what I do in my off time is watch people's streams. It's very common for me to do that. And just Discord messaged him. I sent him the actual like podcast that I was on. I sent him the episode.
Smart.
He said, oh, he was like, is that you? And I said, yeah, that's me. And at first he thought it was my show. And I said, no, I'm just the guest on that show. And so he actually listened to the whole episode, or listened to enough where he was like, you sound like you need to be on a podcast because you sound like you would do well on a podcast. So of course you can come on. And then we scheduled it. So
I feel like in some weird delayed kind of way, like you coming onto the Nintendo Drive is like, when I don't know how many people, Bobby probably did this quite a few times, but like he kind of gave you like the like the push, like you should be on a podcast. So the fact that you're here very, very much feels like connected in that way. Like
it is so strange how I got to this point. And I was telling Seth the other day, like I've only really been a part of the gaming community as a whole since Animal Crossing New Horizons came out.
Yeah.
Like I never followed latest. I never watched a direct, never did any of that stuff. I just bought what I would like every now and again, like on the DS.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times, a lot of years where I wasn't even playing a game.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that Animal Crossing kind of started me being in that community and then being introduced to, you know, that podcast and then introduced to Bobby because he played AC, which got me introduced to y'all. And it's just wild how now I'm just like constantly like, what's coming out, like
I know,
which I've never been that way.
Yeah, like what a change. Now every now and then I think about like what it would be like to kind of go back to the good old days where you just, again, like you're not connected to the content. Like Bobby is so, I mean, I was so like connected to him, so close to him, that I only once in a while I would realize like what a strange cat he was in the Animal Crossing community, especially. Like he was already like on his own, pretty, like he was older, so I think that's one thing. Like the fact that he's very Jersey, like that's a whole other, like the personality and everything. And then you're like, he's really into Animal Crossing. Like that is bizarre. He's not what do you call it when
pushing those stereotypes?
Yeah, he's not. There's nothing cozy about Bobby. He's gonna like. I mean, he's cuddly, but but he's not the typical. I don't know. I don't even know what that. There's like a genre of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I would say it's like cozy games. I mean, that's kind of what all farming sims are. That's kind of the games I gravitate towards myself, are cozy games. Now there are some games that I call cozy, like Cult of the Lamb, where other people would not. But that's where my stuff kind of differs. But everyone has their like likes and dislikes. But it's a big like tree of what's considered cozy. You know.
That's probably one of Bobby's biggest videos, actually, is like you need to do this with trees or something like that. He had a big tree like Animal Crossing video. Anyway,
there's so many videos he put out, but yeah, you're right with his personality, the stereotype of why would you of all people like enjoy this type of game.
I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah. Like how did people find Bobby if they're looking for Animal Crossing? I guess he was really like great at just being seen for that. It just didn't seem like he was connected to.
I think he just kind of how I, you know, put myself out there and just be like, what else am I going to lose? But just, you know, be like, hey, this is me. Can I be on the show? Whatever. Yeah. He's obviously way more outspoken than I am. And so I think that was, you know, he was such a vibrant personality that, you know, there's no way you wouldn't come across him because he was just such a figure, you know. Like, even if it was just to laugh and have a good time, even if you didn't, you know, even if he was not even really decorating like the same way you were, like at the time, like he was doing stuff that not a lot of people were doing with their decor, and he had his own style, and that was interesting to me to kind of watch his, what did he call it, garden core style that he would do in his streams. It's kind of more of a perfectionist, clean lines thing, statues and things like that. So I just, you know, his personality just made me laugh, and like I don't come across a lot of Jersey people way down here where I'm at, so the accent too is another thing that just chuckled me.
Museum. I wish I wasn't so angry at Animal Crossing at the time. That definitely, and it was funny. We used to get comments on Cup of Joe Nintendo. Like every time Bobby would talk about Animal Crossing, I would just, I would have my own resting bitch face, just like, and I didn't mean it. I really didn't. Like,
was that the before Sean when he would go back and sit in his chair when Ryan's talking about The Sims?
I didn't have a stand-up chair or a stand-up desk. I don't think. Maybe I did. At some point I would have had it in the like very early days of the pandemic, but Yeah, no, Bobby and I, but usually like it wasn't a resting bitch face with Bobby. I would just tell him like, you're off your rocker on this. Like enough is enough. Like and he made it okay to do that because he would make fun of me for whatever I was wanted to talk about. And he's like, moving on to this. It's like, oh, you are impossible, Bobby.
I think one of the breaks that we had when he had me on was, oh, you could joke around with me too. I was like, I know, but it's just not something. It takes a lot for me to just joke around with people.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I don't know. That was the first time that I was just like hands sweating, like can't.
Hang on,
but I'm here.
You definitely on the last episode you were on here. By the end of it, I feel like yeah.
Well, that's because I'm comfortable now. But that was like the first time being on a show with him, and I was like, well, I could joke around, but I just wasn't.
Oh my
there
gosh.
Yet.
So how are you feeling about Carpool now? You're on a weekly show. We've done one so far.
Yeah.
Got the jitters out. Now that's it. We're on. You blink, it'll be 100 episodes.
I know, right?
Unless you quit like some other people. I'm just kidding.
Or like y'all are gonna push me out because you've had enough of me.
Oh yeah, right.
No, I've enjoyed it so far. Obviously, I wasn't wasn't thinking of it negatively at all going into it. I try not to do things that way, anyways. But I feel like I have a good gauge of how you are, and of course, and Seth are very similar. We're both Virgos, so
explains absolutely everything.
It explains so much without having to say anything.
Okay.
So I knew going into it like how y'all were and how Seth was. So was an easy transition, really.
Yeah.
Not really. It was just getting, like you said, getting the first show out of the way. The Ask Me Anything, the first one we did before the new Nintendo Drive show, was probably the hardest one for me because I was just like, this is like I would like to say I hide it well, but I don't know.
I think
I'm one of those under the table. I'm like doing one of these things, where you squeeze your hand really tight. Like I do that to like bring myself back to like reality in a way, because it's almost like pinching yourself. Like, is this real? But I don't know. That first show was the hardest, but yeah, it's
that's good.
It's gonna get easier now, I think.
I think so.
Especially how my connection has been so far on this call.
Right? Yeah. Don't really, if it all just craps out from here.
No, I've jinxed it now, but like in case it doesn't, it doesn't
good.
ever like cut out, like extender is working for the moment.
Yeah, go extenders. And
I know.
Thank goodness for 3 days of talking to customer service, for goodness sakes. Like,
oh God.
I'm really excited. Like we kind of took to Twitter shortly afterwards. I think we had published the episode and Court shared it on Carpool, and I kind of came afterwards, and it's like it really is by design, like different. You mentioned like that you didn't really like come from like being in podcasts forever, or like even being into the gaming industry like for a long time, and I feel like that's a huge reason why we're like, well, obviously it's Lockleth. Like that may sound counterintuitive, but like, and I've said this to you before, but like there's other, like when Kato announced that she was leaving, there's a number of people who are like, so Lockleth, right? Like that's the choice.
There was like a Discord guesses and stuff too. I learned after the fact.
Yeah, it's so true. And this is Bobby's kind of lasting legacy and amplified through me being annoying. Bobby got the benefit of having like Jersey, and I'm just obsessive and annoying about it. But it's different. It's totally, and I can't wait to see like how different we can make it. I was looking through the Discord earlier today and just like, I love being able to just like comb through those awesome conversations that are happening. It's like, well, that's the show. We're going to talk about those things. And I just think I think it's genius. Like, and I don't even know who, I think it was either you or I can't remember. It wasn't me who came up with it. Just like, let's see what people are talking about.
Yeah, I think Seth brought up the idea of just like, the N64 is such a hot topic. We should talk about it in the show. And, because of the things that happened in the show, there was a lot of chit chat about about favorite football clubs overseas. And so I've got a special surprise for our next show.
Oh, very
you'll
nice.
physically see on me. So
I gotta rummage through my closet. I don't think anything fits anymore.
definitely need to have more stuff for show and tell because Seth always is on point with that stuff. So.
Yeah, there's only how much stuff do we have though to to tell and show.
Like I said, I did a huge purge before we moved, so
Exactly.
kind of what you see around me, all my pop figures are upstairs, so maybe I'll go dig into those. But outside of my Squishmallows and like some of the knickknacks on my desk,
Yeah.
I don't really have as much as I used to.
Yeah. I do want to get this. One of the last time Seth and I podcasted together, I ended up buying a Game Boy Pocket. And it didn't work out. I had to send it back. But like I feel like that could be a thing. Like I love those old, especially Game Boy. Like that one, I think it's just because of I never had a console. I always had a Game Boy. Like that just does it.
Yeah.
And like I'll talk about it on the show later on this week, but on Super Mario Maker 2, you can get like all the different items that turn you into a different Mario, like Super Mario 2 or Super Mario Land. It like turns you into like a gray Mario, and then Mario Land music pops up and I'm like, why am I weeping? Like, this is so nostalgic. It's so memorable. And I don't know, that music especially is so different than most Mario music, I would say. And it just kind of hit me. I'm like, oh, it's so good. That Game Boy, that's the one for me, man. That's it. I just love it.
Yeah. I've been playing on my DS in the past week too, some Tomodachi Life.
Yes.
So. I've gone back to playing on my DS more, and I still have my Game Boys, so we've purchased more Game Boy games, and we've got the driver that goes underneath the GameCube that plays. You can play Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games.
I want more of that, please. Yeah. Just like, why did all of a sudden, like, now there's licensing stuff? I don't understand this. Like, you could just be able to, like, the Super Game Boy plugged into Super Nintendo, you just plug, like, you could just do this all the time. I don't understand why now bringing things to the latest generation is like not allowed.
Yeah, so much red tape. I don't know.
It's garbage. I don't believe it. I actually don't. I think it's fake. I think they're just making it up so that they can sell us. This is my tinfoil cap moment.
You're probably not wrong. I mean, there's no really tinfoil to it. They are a corporate company overall. Like,
when did the contract say? Yeah,
they'll release it when they want to. Like. Or, they'll put a paywall up type of thing. Like they have plans for it. They just are not telling anyone.
Do you ever feel like have we moved past like the quote unquote like the golden era of games? Like would you ever like go back to something and go like, this is good for at least another, I don't know how many years. Like I don't want to say like forever, because forever's a long time.
No. Like this is the limit type of thing, or like there was something that came before like the Switch,
I guess. Or how about this way of putting it, like that you weren't ready to leave behind. Like I'll say that I wasn't ready to leave the 3DS behind. Like I
think I would agree with that.
Yeah. You mentioning that you're playing your DS right now, I'm like, I would love to just, and I don't know how much longer I would need with it, but I just feel like it died prematurely. I think even Nintendo didn't expect the Switch to do what it did, because they were still kind of supporting both in the early days. But I want to bust up my 3DS.
That's all like news to me type of thing. Like I didn't get a Switch until AC came out, and I got the Lite first, and then I got the AC edition one when it finally came back into circulation again. Not the initial release, but I think like the second release.
Yeah.
And now you can see them like all over the place. And then the OLED back in January. So I wish I would have held out on the OLED though, because that Pokemon one slaps. Like
that's a year though. You hold out a year.
I wish I would have just kept stuck to my guns of like, I don't need this right now, and waited. Because if I didn't have this one, I would for sure be getting the Scarlet Violet OLED.
But then if you buy that, then they're going to come out with something else, and like,
and they're going to come out like with the newest. And
Switch
whatever.
2, same day as Tears of the Kingdom. That doesn't sound right.
Tears or tears?
Apparently they did clarify that it is Tears.
Yeah, they did.
I felt like I don't remember who brought it up first, but I'm like, we all said Tears. Like, there's no way it was going to be anything else but that. But like, some smarty pants was like, actually, that's 2 words. Like that's, we get it. You're smart.
Like read
Very
and read.
clever.
Like, who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still think it could happen. So we'll start up those
the
stupid
DS.
rumors again. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. The DS was definitely one. Like I need to redo or I guess restart. Whatever the last Zelda game they released on there. I almost beat it, but I need to like start over now probably.
Was the last one A Link Between Worlds? I don't know if that was
possibly
the last one.
Because there was like time travel involved. Like I don't remember. Like I'm one of those completionists, and there was things that I wish I would have finished before it like leapt forward or leapt back in time, and you can't go back.
That's what I'm saying.
Finish some of those quests or something, and so like I was like, dang it.
Yeah, like that's.
And then I stopped playing it, and I need to finish it.
It's got to come to the Switch Online thing. Like bump it up to another level. I don't care. Like call me a Nintendo apologist. Like I want some of those games. Although like Game Boy has got to be first. That's I mean to bring it back to earlier.
I mean they would transition well to the Switch because it's also a handheld. So.
Oh, it would be so perfect. But it's all about just like what's accessible, and I guess I got to go dig up my 3DS. Now, me of all people though, like my kids are charging their 2DSs right now. Like they're sitting on the couch plugged in. So it's not like I've got to really go far out of my way. And like games are kind of in the drawer. So the heck am I even talking about here? I think
one of those like cases for my Switch games.
Yeah.
I've outgrown like the little inserts that you get with the case, like the overall case that holds your Switch.
Yeah.
And there's not enough slots anymore, so I had to get like its own case with a zip with like I think you could fit like 80 games in it or something. I don't have that many.
Like a travel case, it fits that many games.
Yeah.
But like that's only for like moving. Like I would say like if I was going on like a trip or something, if I was going to like say Extra Life, if I'm going to Rome, New York to raise money for kids, extra-life.org, Team Phoenix Overdrive. I wouldn't want to bring that with me because what if you lose that? What if you lose 80 games at once? That's actually a really nice case, though.
I keep up with my stuff, Sean. So I'm an adult.
You just don't lose things. That's the answer to what if you potentially lose things. You just won't lose them.
I just won't.
Okay.
I know where my stuff is.
Damn. Wait, what does your shirt say? Does your shirt say Kirby? Did you bring a Kirby shirt onto the show?
I did.
That is all. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Nintendo gurus on Twitter and Instagram, or whatever you would say. Man, every time Kirby came up, that is all.
That is all.
That's actually a really nice shirt.
I think I got it at
Kirby.
I don't know where I got it. Hot Topic or something.
Nice.
Sure. Topic has got like everything.
It's not just have that here.
Cloth clothing anymore.
I'm gonna go get a bunch of stuff at Nintendo New York. I'm just gonna make some bad decisions. Yeah.
I that's another reason.
There's still time.
Like, even if I had the money to fly myself and my husband up there, and we had the money to have a place to, stay like in a hotel or whatever, I would need at least $500 to go to the Nintendo store.
Can I catch you? Well, we can chat offline about this, but like, I can like, I'm actually bringing things down with me to ship from Rome because it's way cheaper to ship in the States.
Oh, really?
Like into the States, and yeah, it's domestic rather than international. Like as soon as I cross the border, it costs way less. So there's a couple things I've got to ship out actually. I still owe Kato a Bobby. Hers is still sitting upstairs. I haven't shipped it. I'm like, I'm now this close. I'll ship it to her.
Say, you might as well ship it to her, even though that's why she left, because you never shipped it to her.
Maybe that's why I didn't. Maybe I knew she was going to leave and I didn't want to spend the addition. I'm just kidding.
Felt it coming and you're like, you're never going to
You're right.
This,
actually, I could have delayed it maybe a little longer if like it just arrived. She's about to tell me, she's leaving. And then it arrives like, can't leave just yet.
I just shipped her a Squishmallow like months ago because she was looking for a specific one, and I was like, it's right here in my Walgreens. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'll just ship it to you. It's not a big deal.
You got to pick up I got to get the Pokemon ones when they come out.
I look.
What is happening with them?
Once a week. I don't know. I look at least once a week on like
fair.
Squishmallow's Instagram page.
Yeah.
And they have not talked about it. I'll even look in the comments of like the post, the initial post of it. People are like, when is this coming? And like no response. I'm like, for real, I want a Gengar, even though I just got this Build-A-Bear one. I want a Gengar Squishmallow.
That Build-A-Bear one is sweet.
It is
so
nice.
good.
I like it. He's a hefty boy though.
He's a hefty boy.
Yeah.
There's too many games. How are you feeling like you're keeping up? Like, do you have the same complex that I do? Like, you seem good.
I manage expectations.
Yeah.
So like there's a game that came out already at the end of September and I just haven't gotten it because I might just wait until it goes on sale. It's called I don't even remember. It's like a puzzle game. I'm terrible with remembering stuff. People
That
will
makes
learn
it
this.
easier to let go of the games that you haven't gotten around to.
Yeah. So I have a list. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I just pick and choose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably pre-order the Pokemon games like next week or so. Mm-hmm. So I don't forget.
Oh my gosh, those are coming so quick. Like I'm saying I'm good this weekend, and then I think on Xbox it's like Scorn, and then I'm sure Call of Duty is right around the corner here, and Mario and Rabbids, and I don't even
Sonic.
know. I'm okay with leaving Sonic for a little bit.
I haven't played a Sonic game in years, but it was never a game. This might be a hot take, but it's never a game that I've enjoyed just because of how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Clearly, I like cozy games. I don't like things that are too fast. So
if
I can't get all the rings, I don't want to play, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't 100% it, then like I'm out. No, thank you. I still have I was going to say Mario, Sonic Colors. I kind of dropped off of that one for a little bit. I am intrigued by this one.
You streamed it for a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one?
Yeah. Streaming's it's weird. I feel like I'm much more disconnected from streaming these days than I used to be. I don't know if it's the move to YouTube or whatever, move off of Twitch or whatever, but I feel like more and more it's just podcasting. I feel like that's kind of the thing. And then 24 hours for Extra Life. We'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely be there in the stream. Chat. Like,
there's still
hey
time.
Guys.
There's still time. Oh, but yeah, let me know if there's anything that you want from the Nintendo store.
Ooh.
Because I'll be there. And
don't tell me that.
Yeah, no, you have. Well, we can figure things out. It's a fun.
I'll pick one thing. I'll manage expectations.
Impossible, especially if you're into Pokemon. It's like I've been there a couple times, and for the first few times, I wasn't really into Pokemon, so I got to just like walk by all that stuff, and then I got into it. This last time I was there, I'm like, I think I came home with probably 6 or 7 like Pokemon stuffies. I couldn't stop.
I think they have a plush for every Pokemon, at least for the first 150, don't they? In the store? They
must. I don't know if at the store, but it's like it's pretty significant. Yeah, they've got like all these towers, and they're wrapped around with like yeah.
I've seen like people like go to the store like over YouTube and stuff, so I kind of have a vague idea as to how it looks and the setup and stuff. I think the one thing that I've never put my hands on before and is my favorite Pokemon of all time is Ninetales.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If they have a plushie of that would be my thing.
Well, I will definitely. I feel like they must.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take that, Sonic.
With my luck, they probably won't.
2 tails over here. Got 9 tails. Up in Pokemon. Yeah, no, I feel like that's like, now that I think about it, it's probably the best thing at the Nintendo store is like their Pokemon stuffies.
I would be looking at their Pokemon stuff and then their Animal Crossing stuff, but I already have quite a bit of PC merch. Stuff. So
yeah. I mean, good hoodies, good shirts though. Like, I don't know, just indulgence.
I still need to buy one of everything in the Carpool merch store.
Oh my!
If you've never bought one, people listening, go check out.
And we'll have new stuff I think coming soon. How are you feeling with all that? Like, there's stuff to do. You okay?
I do have questions, but we can talk about that offline.
Okay. So that sounds good.
So I've already designed like one thing that just kind of came up.
It's totally gonna take over the
pretty
planet.
Sweet on a hoodie or something.
Yeah, I love it. Well, honestly, everything else I was going to chat with you about, I think we can talk about on the Nintendo Drive. So I don't know if you had anything you want to say. discuss
Not
like
really.
it's basically the same show, but no guests and only Nintendo, really.
Yeah. I need to look back at our like the Discord and like other things to prepare for the show still, which I know you'll probably look at all that tomorrow too. So yeah. Whatever
Already
gaming
did a little
related.
bit. Yeah.
You did?
A little bit.
I
Yeah.
need to do that.
I
was too
had some
busy
time.
recording a video.
Yeah. I was trying to get organized. I had a moment where I'm like, I can get ahead of things, at least for a second. So I've got everything on my whiteboard as well over here, just like listed out.
You have 2 whiteboards?
Yeah, this is work. This is my work whiteboard here. And I realized, why do I have so much space dedicated to work in my like home? I needed it's smaller, but it is another one that's more for my stuff. So
Yeah, I have a small whiteboard, but I never like use it. I just mine's all digital, like on the computer.
Yeah.
Easier for
what
me.
it is.
I can look at my phone or I can look on my computer. Like I can see it from anywhere. I don't have to like be in the same room as my notes.
I'm too all over the place, and maybe it's just because I haven't found like the system and this whole Notion thing that you showed us. Like I think that might be
Sean.
it. No, Sean. Like I go from like some weeks I'll go like very, very diligent note taking on my iPad and just like what my to-do list and everything else. Like it's just as if it's written on paper, just on notes, or thought stuff on my whiteboards or notepads, or actual like online to-do lists where I can actually check them off. Like I'm all over the place, and that's probably not surprising or good.
We'll say when it comes to work, I do have like an actual notebook.
Yeah.
And mine says Creative Ramblings of a Restless Mind. And it has a bunch of stickers on it.
I wrote that book
right there. Did you?
Yeah. Blank pages inside.
Yeah, all blank. No lines. It's not a
no
lines.
Book. Wow.
Yeah, no lines.
How?
It's just regular paper. I don't know. It's what I'm used to. No lines.
Interesting.
And I like a bullet journal,
Virgo
but it
thing?
doesn't even. I don't know. I think it's a preference thing. It's just I like to doodle too, but I actually haven't done any of that in this. But when it comes to work, I have to physically, like the action of physically writing something down helps me remember. But when it comes to like other stuff, digital is just as well.
Yeah. I need to, I don't know what I need to do. I'm always second guessing myself. Anyway, what's Lockleth mean?
Lockleth came from, it was a name I came up with when I played World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you did.
Back in like high school. So yeah, I know that I kind of touched on that like after we finished the show last year, I guess.
That was my one that would have been amazing.
Like, no, and like Ryan and Seth and myself have already been talking about World of Warcraft in like chats and stuff too. So maybe that'll be a carpool thing too.
That would honestly be amazing because like I don't know, I never got into World of Warcraft. I was scared by people like losing their jobs and families and whatever else because of their addiction and stuff. And like that's a very real thing. Like it's 15 whatever years ago it must have been. So maybe it's okay to joke about it now, but yeah, like people lost their livelihoods to this game. So I was very scared of it.
Was an ignorant child. I just enjoyed the game.
That helps.
I wasn't aware of all that stuff, and my parents they were very like, you could play, once you finish your homework.
Yeah, good deal. The classic ultimatum.
Still played way too much of it, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
that's where it came from.
Why
came up with a couple names from playing World of Warcraft.
That stood the test of time, though. Like that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Stick with Lockleth.
It's been like 14 years since I came up with the name. 14, 15.
I wish I had something like. Part of me wonders what would have happened if I wasn't like Sean Capri on the internet. Like that's my real name. Like that's my full name. Like on the internet. Like I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said about an alias of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just that's the only reason that on Twitter it's Lockleth TWT, because I used to have Lockleth as my handle. And then there was a moment in time that I didn't use it, and so the account got suspended or whatever for non-use. And I tried at one point to get it back, and they were like, "You have to you are not who you say you are, or something. I don't know. Didn't want to deal with that whole process, so I just created a new account. Like,
that's way worse than like somebody else having it first and they're not using it anymore. Like, that's a painful experience.
Like, you can look up Lockleth on Twitter, and it just says
you
non-active. Like,
what if
there's
somebody
nothing
else
there.
reactivated it?
I don't know.
That'd be terrible. Like, that was mine.
Let's not give anybody any ideas. But that's
you start getting
like,
all these emails, like somebody's trying to reset your password.
Yeah, probably isn't even linked to anything anymore, because I was able to use my initial email to create a new one. So there's just in the void.
I'm always jealous when people can come up with a handle or whatever that is good, because I have not been able to do that.
Well, just one of these days I'll try to get access back to that, because that's the one place that is just different from Instagram and all those other socials, even YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
I
wish it was just Lockleth. It was just
Dang
like Console Kato is across all of her stuff.
Yeah.
And that's pretty common for people to have it that way. But no, it's just this one place, Twitter. I just can't have it.
See, that would be something I like would revisit. Like, it couldn't be constant, because that would just drive you nuts. Like, you'd give it a shot, like let's drive by this place once again and see what we can do. See if we can talk to somebody new.
Yeah, but I've already dealt with enough tech support people.
Yeah, don't bring it up.
That is the last of my concerns at the moment.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want Court to be doing sports gaming and podcasting and stuff like that. He's our sports beat or sports game kind of beat dude. And then you guys do this World of Warcraft stuff. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I haven't talked about World of Warcraft in a long time.
Yeah.
But I think the only reason I stopped playing was because I don't know. I think my parents stopped paying for the service. I think my brother went to college, and then we just no longer had it. Yeah, and he's the one that initially wanted it, not me. I just followed my brother's footsteps, like I tend to do.
Like, I think about it, and like, it sounds amazing to me. Like, this sounds so fun.
It's just I like fantasy style games too, which Harvestella kind of has some of that too. So it kind of brings me back to that a bit.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely miss it, but wouldn't play it now.
Oh, really?
It's like so far.
Yeah.
There's been so many expansion packs since I've played. It's kind of like The Sims. Like, there's been so many packs since the last time I played The Sims. Like, but that's different. Like, you could just get into that and play again.
I want to like smash cut to like February, and you're like back in like hardcore. Like, you sign in, like you got like face paint on or something.
No.
Like, getting into it. Yes. Got like
I
a
debated.
Headdress.
I have an idea of playing RuneScape again from the beginning, like for a video or something for my channel, because it's very similar to World of Warcraft, but the graphics are terrible. Like, very, very pixelated.
Oh my
like
gosh.
The character, like there is no like eyes and nose thing. It's like, I don't know, if you think of a person as a geometric shape, like that's kind of how the characters are.
What if I already do? Same. I just look at people and like, it's a geometric shape.
We all see each other differently, don't we? We don't all see the same colors, do we?
That blows my mind. Like that's too much. That's like the scientific fact that like I don't like it. The whole like things are the colors that they are because they absorb the rest of the light and bounce back the color that you see. Like, I do not like that. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean? Like, this shirt is absorbing other colors and then it's just blue that you see. What does that even mean? And who figures that out?
I don't know. It's all above my head. That's something that my husband like rolls on for a while too. It blows his mind. Yeah, I don't try to think about it.
It makes me really uncomfortable, actually, as it turns out. No, it was just blue. Like, they just dyed it blue. Like, it's just the fabric is. What do you mean? It has nothing to do with the light.
I don't know, Sean. It's apparently a thing. Who knows?
It stresses me out. Like, my heart rate is actually like going up. Like, blood pressure is like.
That's kind of similar to how Kato feels about space. So there you go.
Man, space is weird though. Like, it's just what an enigma. Why is it so huge?
Too. The ocean, the deepness of it.
What if space had monsters living in it like the ocean does?
Probably does.
You think they're just like flying around, just like...
Go watch Nope, and you'll get a little...
Where can I watch? Is this on Netflix?
Peek into something that is potentially out there.
I want to watch something scary. I want to get into the Halloween spirit.
I can't handle super horror films. I know, for somebody who's done haunted houses and stuff, I can't. But that is a good like thriller movie.
I looked up Nope on Netflix, and this movie came up called Dope. I don't know if you could see.
Oh, that's completely different.
Dope. That's not the right. No. Okay, where do I find Nope? Prime?
No.
Okay, sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was saying it's a definitely a thriller like type thing, but where there was like one or two like bits in it that just gave me the shivers.
The heebie-jeebies. Yeah, you're not sleeping so good.
Yeah. And I don't want to say. You have to see it. Like I can make a comment about something, but that will just
don't
give
ruin
away
it.
like the whole thing, and I don't want to do that.
No, I love movies quite a lot, actually. Like, yeah, I got to get back into it. Okay.
I want to rewatch the Batman film. I want to rewatch it again.
The Batman, like the
Batman, the latest.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like it a lot.
Mm.
All right, Lockleth, you want to chat in like 2 nights or something? Or like
sure, why not?
Take a break and then come back on Tuesday night.
Pretty much same time, almost.
People can find you on Twitter at Lockleth TWT.
Twitter. That unfortunate standalone handle, Lockleth on Instagram, Lockleth on YouTube, Lockleth on Twitch, but I just use it to watch other people stream. I don't ever stream there, so.
Very cool. Well, happy anniversary for being on We the GamerCast, and now every single Tuesday on the Nintendo Drive. Cannot wait. All right.
Y'all are gonna be tired of my face.
I doubt it. That Donkey Kong music that we had to introduce the conversation with Lockleth from ocremix.org. You guys got to go to go to at least the YouTube. That might be the best way to do it. I don't know if the website helps. I don't know. I don't run the site. ocremix.org. I should mention it more often. That's where the music comes from whenever we go into the conversation. This one was Donkey Kong. One of my favorite, that Donkey Kong soundtrack, Donkey Kong Country soundtrack, Super Nintendo. Just one of the greatest all-time soundtracks. Is that Grant Kirk? What the heck is his name? You guys are screaming at me. Why did I even bring it up? Grant Kirk something. Grant Kirk... Wood? Nope. Hope? I don't know. You got comments in there. You know what? Fill up the engagement juice on the YouTube channel. Anyways, I wanted to listen to that music just a little longer than usual. You guys might have noticed. Sometimes I just want to indulge a little bit. But we got to talk about space. I got to find a just one of my kind when we get frustrated with customer service. It's like nothing else, man. But glad everything worked out. I'm appreciating that you guys are here. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Follow us, the Carpool Gaming, on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and I don't know where. MySpace, Carpool Gaming usually is where you find us all there. Now, I don't think I did this last week. I think I've been rushing to get some of these episodes out, and I apologize for that, guys. Especially on Patreon. The Patreon patrons have not got their Saturday days, and I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware. But I don't think I had a clip of Bobby last week. Bobby Paul's the late great Nintendo guru. My good friend Josh Stapleton has been collecting clips of Bobby, sometimes with me, sometimes Bobby's with somebody else. He did a ton of content, and the episode or the little clip that you're going to hear here is us talking about some great, amazing Super Mario games, which is timely. This is just amazing because Josh has given me a list of clips that I can go through, and he gave, I'm still getting through them, Josh, as you can see. This clip came to me a couple of weeks, if not months ago, and I've gotten to it now. And we're talking about Super Mario, which I think is timely because the Super Mario, the teaser trailer just came out, and everybody's exploding about that. I'm sure we'll be talking about that with Lockleth and Seth on the Nintendo Drive this week, along with everything else that you guys are discussing in the Discord. I think it's really cool. So enjoy this clip. Leave a comment in the YouTube video. Like it if you haven't already. You're at the very end. Thank you guys so much for being here, and have an amazing day. Goodbye.
Like, if I had to say to someone, if someone has not played these games, before. Well, you're in for a rude awakening. If you've played the games, then you hopefully get that little taste of nostalgia.
Sure.
That makes you, you know what I mean? But like if you've played Odyssey, man, I got news for you. If you've never played these three, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough go. Galaxy is just harder than I remember it being, and not hard in terms of playing with a pro controller is just tough. Like I don't know why.
I'm basically not using the bits. Like I'm not firing the bits. I used to use that a lot. I used to fire the bits like a Goomba and knock them over, and then kind of go over and punch them in the face. I'm basically not doing that anymore. I gotta play a little bit more time with it and see if I come around on it. But we'll see. I think I might stream it tomorrow. I think I might stream it tomorrow night, and give it a shot and see. But and we got Mario 35 coming too, man.
That's the one and it's crazy.
I'm really excited for that.
I'm really excited for 3D World because I think 3D
is that
World.
February though?
That's in February.
Oh man,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because I feel like that's the one that's really going to turn it around for me. That's the one that's going to get me super hyped. Because I love that game. I know, and that's the thing. A lot of people beat up on that game so badly, but for me personally, I loved 3D World. Like I thought 3D World was so good, and 3D World is actually the game that made me change what I asked for Christmas time when I was married. Because I used to ask for games, and that game launched in like October, I believe.
Sure.
And I had to sit there from when it launched till Christmas and wait and try to avoid spoilers. And I was like, never again. You buy these other things, and I'll buy the games I want.
Just get it,
and I'll get them day one and be able to play them. So, but I really did love 3D World. I thought that was, and I love the fact now that we're gonna have online play with it.